Welcome to this first lesson in geometry where we take a look at the building blocks to geometry: points, lines, and planes. You will need a copy of your math dictionary for this video, during which you will use your math dictionary to copy down the words and definitions that go into your dictionary. Each slide that I bring up, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to pause the video, copy down the notes, and we'll move on. I won't talk a whole lot about each word. I will just go to the slide, let you copy down the words, and we'll go from there. The first part of your math dictionary, you'll see this, where we're talking about a point, line, and a plane. And I'm going to describe what the model, how's it drawn, it's named by, facts, words, and symbols. When I go to the next slide, pause it so you can copy down the words. We're going to switch to the next slide, so pause it for your next word. Now that you have all of the words written down, we're going to dive into a couple of postulates real quick and give you some inside information. You may take notes if you wish. So the first postulate we're going to talk to is through any 2 points, there's exactly one line. If I were to graph this line, I'd make my first point on the y-axis at 5, and I'd count the slope, and I'd make a second point. Where these 2 points, there's only one line that I can draw that would include those 2 points. So for any 2 points, there's only one line that exists. If 2 lines intersect, so if they intersect, then they intersect in exactly 1 point. So if I were to draw this line, these 2 lines, I'd start up here at 8, and we'd have down 2 over 1. I keep making these points, and I'll connect them as best as I can, knowing that they go through the points. My second line would start here and go up 3 over 1, in which there is the 1 point where if we have 2 lines that intersect, they're going to intersect at 1 and only 1 point. You've seen the definition for planes. If 2 planes intersect, then they intersect at exactly 1 line. So if you picture 2 pieces of paper here, one paper vertically and another piece of paper, if we intersected them, there's only 1 line where they intersect. And the last one, through any 3 non-collinear points. Remember, non-collinear means that they are not on the same line. There's exactly 1 plane. So for example, B, D, and H, there's 3 non-collinear points, and there is a plane that goes through those 3 non-collinear points. So as long as they're not on the same line, they'll be in the same plane. Let's look at a couple of examples. If possible, it says to draw 4 collinear points. Remember, collinear means same line. So this would look like, if I were to draw a line, and if I were to have some points, I'm going to make this a little thicker. We'd have 1 point, 2, 3, 4. We just got to make up some capital letters. A, B, C, D. There's 4 collinear points. Here, the next one says 2 non-collinear points. So let's draw a line. 2 points. Let's go point A and point B. Point C here would not be on the same as AB. If I drew point D way up here, that would also not be collinear with there. We're going to skip this one. Here it says 3 non-coplanar points. So we want a plane where we have, there's 1 point in the plane, there's 2 points in the plane, there's 3 points that are in the plane. These would be called coplanar. If I drew a point out here, D, now any combination of 3 that includes D out here would be non-coplanar. So A, B, and D are non-coplanar points. A, C, and D are non-coplanar points. Or B, C, and D would be non-coplanar points. Any one of those examples would work. Problem 2, it says, what are the names of the segments in the figure below? Remember, a segment has these endpoints on them. So part A here, the segments that I see are segment MN. I've got segment NP, and there's a segment MP. As long as we put the segment without the arrowheads, that symbol defines a segment. If I were to write this with arrowheads on the top, this would indicate line MN. But we can distinguish between the two. Part B, what are the names of the rays in the figure? Remember, a ray starts at an endpoint and extends forever in one direction. So for example, ray M, N. So remember, a ray just has one arrow at the end. Starts at N and it goes through M. I also see ray N, P. Starts at N and goes through P. I'm going to erase this. We also have, if we started at M and drew a ray all the way through P, we could have MP as a ray. Vice versa, we could start at P and go through M, have PM. Those are all of our rays. There's a couple more. I'll let you find those in the picture. Part C, it says which of the rays in part B are opposite rays? Well, opposite rays share the same endpoint. So the opposite in this would be NP, and MP would be my opposite rays. Let's take a look at 2 more slides. Which plane contains points J, M, and L? Remember that when you see a figure like this, each side represents a plane. So if I were to color it, there's that side, this bottom side, that's a plane, that's a plane. We're wondering which one would include J, M, and L. Well, here's J on top, here's M, here's L. So the most obvious one would be the top of the box would be the plane that includes J, M, and L. The next one asks which plane would contain the points L, P, and Q. Well, pick out points L, P, Q, and it looks like this side plane would work. Remember that you can always draw a diagonal plane. So for example, it could include NR all the way up to KL. This could also be an example of a plane in any figure. Just keep that in mind. All right, last slide. It says name the plane. Remember, you can name the plane with any 3 points that are not on the same line. Therefore, I can't name this plane A, B, and C because A, B, and C are on the same line. So I would label this as plane A, B, and D. I could also do B, C, D. I could say B, A, D. Any 3 combination of letters as long as they're not on the line and they have to be in the plane. So F and E are not in the plane, so we can't use either letter to name it. Name 2 lines. Well, I see line, I put these arrows, EF, and I see line AC. Any 2 points on the line, name it. So there are many more combinations you could have picked. It says name where the lines intersect. The lines intersect right here at point B. Or I can write out point B. That's all I have. You can do the assignment on the worksheet. If you have questions, please come and ask.